Hello and welcome to another episode of The Weekend with Candor Beach. Today we've got three topics for you. New sodium ion batteries that may potentially replace what we have today, a lack of candor in social media, and Israel-Hamas, a potential truce, a short-term truce. So let's get into it. What do we know about the new sodium ion battery by Northvolt?
So Northvolt comes up with this new battery, right? So it
Hmm.
has a very good energy, density of 160 watt hours per kg, which is very, very close to lithium ion, which is at 200, 220 watt
250
hours
to
per kg.
300 ish.
Yeah, commercially about 200 to 220.
Hmm.
So let's just say, but the thing is, if you compare them, lithium is very hard to mine. It's found in certain places. You have to mine it, you have to process it. But when you compare it with sodium, sodium is readily available everywhere. So sodium chloride, salt, table salt is sodium. So that is something revolutionary for Northvolt to come up with.
Yeah, it's readily available, lower energy density. It would be fantastic if
Yeah,
this became mainstream. Let's hope. Like we've got a potential future with solid
it's a,
state
it's a,
batteries.
it, yeah.
With
It's a great. I mean, if you look at it, like everything, all the battery tech is making major strides, right? So you have solid state batteries with Japan trying to do it, and now we have the sodium ion batteries. Sodium was actually an Indian. I think the Reliance was also trying to do it, right? The Indian company was trying to pursue sodium ion
hmm,
battery tech.
I see
Yes. So coming to the next topic,
a lack of candor.
what is not there yet? Let's talk about it.
So deep fakes and apparently something that the government terms as child sexual abuse material. Those are things that the
Hmm.
government is trying to rein in on further. There have been instances where uh, certain individuals like Narendra Modi and an actress, I think her name was Rashmika Mandana, they were
Yeah,
targeted by deepfake videos that showed them doing things that they weren't, that could potentially hurt brand image. Uh, that's just wrong. That's hurtful. There have been instances where they've existed in the past, like where conversations have been taken out of context. You have clips of Donald
yeah,
Trump saying things and then with completely different context provided to readers, and that can be potentially polarizing, particularly when your elections are coming up. So,
yeah. Uh, Warfare, cyber warfare during election year using deepfakes. It's it's a big thing, man.
yeah, that's scary. Like, I remember when during our AI podcast, we talked about uh, the potential of AI. Like, when you're delivering a speech, but you want to reach a larger audience, you have AI translate your conversation into the vernacular of a certain region that you're targeting. You speak in English, but the video translates your language to Hindi, Telugu, Tamil, whatever
Yeah.
makes sense.
Mm.
But yeah, like this is you're right. Like it is cyber warfare. It is quite scary. What the Indian government is trying to do is they're trying to rein this in via uh, terms of use. They've asked social media companies to revise their terms of use to curb both CSOM, the child sexual abuse material, and deepfakes. But let's see how effective they are. Like we'll need to look into how we can police this material further.
Yeah. So on our third topic, what's happening in Middle East? What's going on?
There's a brief truce. I was surprised by. I'll tell you what I was surprised by. So there's a truce where there's an exchange of hostages, and Hamas has released Thai hostages, Filipino hostages, and Israeli hostages. Like 10 Thai hostages, 13 Israeli hostages, one Filipino hostage. Uh, I was a little confused by like, how do they have hostages of such different nationalities? I thought it was all an all Israel thing, but honestly, that could just be my limited knowledge
It's
of
just
the
not
matter.
one-sided, but it's just not one-sided. There is a swap actually going on. There
Yeah, there is
is
a swap.
Palestinian prisoners which are being swapped for the Israeli. hostages, right? So, I mean, it's a brief break in the war.
Mm.
It's good. I think they can actually spread a lot of humanitarian aid for the displaced Palestinians.
I don't know how effective
But
that's
other
going to be. It's a 4-day truce. And what confuses me is like Hamas, if they have other nationalities, like beyond Israelis, there is clearly an agenda. At least, I shouldn't say clearly. Let me revise that. There seems to be an agenda where they're taking hostages. Like they're outright taking hostages that they shouldn't be. Like, how safe is it? Why do you have 10 Thai hostages?
Um, so but I believe they have Thai and Filipino hostages because they actually took hostages from that festival. It was a music festival which happened,
Hmm.
and all these people came across the world, for this music festival, and
What I'm
that's
getting
how
at,
I believe it. Yeah,
like that. Well, thank you for that clarification. But what I was getting at is that if you have hostages, you're clearly like hostages of other nationalities. What defense do you have? You're clearly in the business of taking hostages. So
yeah, yeah, yeah.
When Israel accuses Hamas of terrorism, and Hamas is releasing hostages of different nationalities, aren't we making a case for it that they genuinely are in the business of, like, what would you call taking hostages other than terrorism?
I mean, it is, but
Like
it was their bargaining chip.
you take Israeli
No,
hostages, and you can make the argument that, oh, we thought they were potentially spies.
yeah,
What are you doing with Thai hostages or Filipino?
yeah. I mean, it is. It is. It's a terrorist organization. There is no proper explanation for anything.
Like, I'm not trying to condone the war there. I'm not saying that, like war. To quote Vladimir Putin, war is regrettable. War is. I can't believe I'm quoting Putin here, but war is bad. Like, war has very detrimental effects on humanity. It has been harsh on the. Harsh isn't a significant enough word, I believe, but to describe what the Palestinians in the Gaza Strip have endured. And it is sickening. I think that's more appropriate. But Hamas is clearly proving to be a terrorist organization. Like, that's what we've been talking about with respect to certain Pakistani terrorist organizations that have
Mm,
launched incursions into Kashmir and further, right? Now, if they are
yeah,
terrorists, if they are people that we need to take action against, and Modi was lauded for his action against uh, certain Pakistani terrorist encampments, surely Israel's action against a terrorist organization that Hamas appears to be, surely that is appropriate. Surely that they need to be. I don't know. Like, you can't condone their actions, but at the same time,
yeah,
maybe it ought to be expedited, and then Hamas needs to be tackled. Like, there's another instance that I was thinking of. You remember LTTE and Sri Lanka? How the Sri Lankan government
yeah.
launched an all-out war on LTTE and
Mm-hmm.
got eradicated them to
The
a point
Tamil
where,
Tigers.
yeah,
Yeah.
eradicated them to a point where, well, obviously they had support in Tamil Nadu. They had support amongst the Tamilians
Mm-hmm.
in Sri Lanka, and obviously this isn't a blanket statement saying LTT is bad, but at the same time,
Mm,
there was harm that was being caused because of the friction between the Sri Lankan government and this organization, and the government took care of it. Similarly, the
yeah.
harm that certain terroristic or terrorist organizations have inflicted upon the upon India have been taken care of to an extent. Israel is
Yeah.
allowed to do what they're doing to an extent, to the extent that they are
Mm-hmm.
not causing massive loss of life, which they are, unfortunately, to get rid
Collateral
of.
damage.
I mean, like, if we lived in Gaza, we wouldn't be calling it
Yeah,
collateral
we would
damage,
be.
right?
Yeah.
What a,
So yeah. So
it's yeah.
yeah. Go ahead.
Now, I don't want to take up much more of our time on this,
Yeah.
but
So let's talk about quick the Thanksgiving drama. Sam Altman coming back and firing the board. It's Thanksgiving drama. What are your thoughts on it?
one word: Retribution.
I was kind of waiting for that. Yeah, yeah, man, it's good though. I watched the entire saga. It was fun.
If you say so. There's also this new virus that's out,
Yeah,
H9N2
the
outbreak in China.
oh man, all the wires are starting in China. I hope we don't get
You didn't,
demonetized with this.
yeah, just don't say stuff like that.
All right.
Also, one final bit, like, and this might help. I don't know what this is going to influence just yet, but domestic air passengers
Mm.
traffic reaches a new high. Good
Yeah,
time to own
pre-pandemic levels.
um new high. So
Okay.
probably even beyond that. Apparently, it's hit
Be
4
careful on
lakh.
financial advice.
Yeah, I'm not giving financial advice, but 4,63,417 passengers. That's the passenger
Oh
traffic
wow,
right now. Yeah,
400,000. Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
fantastic. Yep. Well, you know, please comment if you have anything to say. I'll tell all the audience. So
Yeah, let us
what
know
else?
if
What do
this
you want?
was let us know if
Yeah.
this was useful information for you, or if you'd like for us to cover a different genre of topic with this particular podcast.
Yeah.
But thank you as always for listening, and see you on the next one.
Thank you, guys. Like, comment, subscribe.
Bye.